My name is Crystal Cervantes, and I am the inventor of the typer. My invention would help people who are visually impaired independently use a cellular device. My invention would go connected to the bottom half of a phone. So this would be the phone, and this would be the bottom half. It would go connected where the charger would go, and every time you press a button, it would indicate that a key has been marked. For this specific invention, prototype, I decided to use Braille because it was one of the most common forms of reading for people who can't see. It all began when I was thinking of an upcoming appointment. I realized how stressful my vision can be and not being able to see properly. Therefore, I sympathize with those who have it way worse than I do, who can't see at all, who can see blurry, but they really can't see. I thought, well, there's things I enjoy to do that they can't, such as using their phones. And I was thinking of how they actually manage to do it. And I researched and I discovered that they have people there, like assistants, who will do this for them. And they independently cannot do it on their own. I know it can be hard sometimes. And I thought, well, maybe if I make something that'll help them, it'll help boost their confidence and help them with their daily lives a bit more. And that's where the typer would come in. It would help them independently use their cellular device. Amongst my research, I learned that there are apps out there that read things out that are on the screen for them. But there's nothing that really helped them type on their own. I did learn that there is a computer keyboard that helps the people who are visually disabled use a computer by typing the keys, and each key had Morse code on it. Although I did do some more research on that product, and I learned that it is not compatible with cellular devices. Therefore, that's where my invention would help. While thinking of my invention, I had some trouble figuring out the material I wanted it to be made of. I thought potentially a type of bioplastic, because our world currently has a lot of pollution and we cannot manage to have more pollution in our waters right now. But I did some research on bioplastic and I learned too much sunlight can cause it to deteriorate, as well as the slightest drop of water will automatically cause it to deteriorate. So that was obviously a big no, but I definitely did not want to go with plastic. Something that was a bit more recyclable. Then I thought maybe a few thin sheets layered together of aluminum. They would be thick enough to support my invention and the coating that would go on the inside, but not too heavy where it would be a real pain to carry it around. In the beginning of my invention process, I thought of many different ways that I could potentially make this. I thought, well, what if I do a Bluetooth bracelet that can connect to a cellular device, and it has Braille on your wrist? It would be a bit easier. But it didn't really achieve my initial goal, to help make their lives easier and normalize the lives of those who are visually impaired. It can be a struggle knowing that everybody else, all 12 million of us, can easily just type whatever we want onto our phones and that they can't. So I wanted to help make their life a bit easier. And I discovered that there are approximately 11,000 people over the age of 40 who are visually impaired, 5,000 people who are visually impaired and they cannot get help and it's not available, and approximately 4,000 people who become visually impaired after they get help. I feel like this is a problem that isn't really talked about in our society and should be talked about a bit more. They just think of it as something small. If it's not their problem, they don't have it, it's not their problem. But for those who do have it, it's a challenge they face every day as soon as they wake up and they open their eyes. I want to help them, give them a bit more self-confidence. And that's where the typer would come in.